This video is not about me. Some Firecrafter friends of mine pulled off something pretty amazing recently, and this is their story. Osage Orange has been my fire by friction nemesis for many years now. It's really resinous even after it's seasoned for many years, and it's also one of the hardest species of trees that's native to North America. It's got a Janka hardness value of over 2,600 pounds. That's about 3 times harder than Red Elm, a species that many Firecrafters watching this video will be familiar with. And it's also about 6 times harder than Cottonwood. It's one of my favorites. I've made several Osage Orange kits over the years, and I'm able to generate choking clouds of smoke and lots of rich black dust, but I've never been able to get an ember to ignite. If I take that dust that I've created and touch a match to it or hit it with a lighter, it'll always ignite, it'll always form an ember. So that means that I just personally have not been able to get it hot enough through friction alone to get an ember to ignite. And all that resin that's in the Osage tends to cause the spindle tips and the fireboard divots to gloss over. And I've got to scrape all that stuff off before I can do further attempts. Well, the Firecrafters and I and my Boy Scout troop have made many Osage kits over the years, and we've attempted many dozens of times to make embers, and we always ended in failure. But that changed when we went to summer camp this year. Camp Randsburg, located just south of Bloomington, Indiana, is the mecca of all things Firecrafter, and that's where my troop went for summer camp this year. Sometime during the middle of the week, the youth Firecrafters and I grabbed our Osage Orange kits and went up to the Firecrafter shelter to show them off and see if anybody wanted to give them a try. Well, there's some very talented young men running the Firecrafter program this year, including Theo Pell. He's the 2024 Ultimate Master Crafter Champion. Well, Theo stepped up and immediately accepted the Osage Orange Challenge. And wouldn't you know, on the very first attempt, he busted out a huge Osage Orange ember. Take a look at this.
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh, Theo got it.
Come on, baby.
I'll be damned.
It's possible.
All right, Theo, show me your face, buddy. First guy I know that got a solo ember on Osage Orange. I'll be damned. You don't mind if I put this on YouTube, do you?
Oh no. That'll do.
Firecrafter Shelter 2025.
That's right, baby.
Theo Pell. I want to make sure that I mention that Ben Parker, another exceptional Firecrafter, also made an ember with that Osage Orange kit on his very first try. He did it right after Theo. Unfortunately, I didn't get very good video footage to show you, so my apologies, Ben. Ben and Theo, though, both use the same technique. Did you notice it? Now, I've always done my bow drilling down on the ground. The first thing these guys did was pick up their fireboard and put it on the seat of that picnic table. Now, out in the woods, you'd use a fallen log or a stump or maybe a big rock. But they put their fireboard up on that picnic table seat. These guys are both right-handed, and with their left foot, they held the fireboard in place. Then what they did was they moved their right foot as far back as they could, and that served to sort of unbalance them, forcing them to lean forward on that spindle and put virtually their entire upper body weight down on top of that spindle. If you go back and look at the clip again of Theo making his ember, you'll also notice that he took his left hand and put it under his left leg and squatted down just a little bit to even further increase the downward pressure. Ben and Theo called that sitting on the spindle. Well, as I showed in my article on the physics of fire by friction, the heat generated in fire by friction methods increases in direct proportion to the downward pressure on the spindle. If you've got enough upper body strength to keep bowing, more pressure is better. It heats up that much faster. Well, I hung around for a while and I talked to Ben and Theo about their method, and I watched that clip several times, trying to learn as much as I could. And then I went on back to camp. When I got back to camp, I ran into one of my troop's best firecrafters, Raymond Dorito. He's also the senior patrol leader in our troop this year. I showed Ray the clip of Theo making his ember. I discussed the method that Theo and Ben had taught me, and Ray was really excited. He decided he wanted to give it a try, had some time on his hands, went and got his Osage kit, and then this happened.
This one, right?
Yep.
This. Okay. To move forward, you must suggest yourself to instability. Sun Tizu.
He just put his name on everything. Alright. Ow, ow. You got it. Ow.
It's cracking.
Yeah, it is.
No ember.
Still smoking.
Pull it out.
Pull it out. Pull it out. It's cracking bad.
Yep,
Oh, we
that's-
got
never
one.
mind, that is an ember.
Woo!
What? Don't touch it. Okay, get it out of there. Get it out of there.
What's this? What's this?
Leave it. Leave it.
That's glowing.
Come here. Get down here. Get down here
Take a
where I can
pic.
see your smiling face. Ray, what did you just do?
I popped on an only Osage kit with not a scooter wheel too.
And what did you just earn?
Choco Taco.
No. What was?
I don't remember what was
What
it.
was
80?
the bet?
Was it $80?
$100.
Was it $100?
Mr. Duncan bet his scouts $100. First one could
Do it
pop
on
an
video.
ember of Osage Orange and get it on video.
And the spindle is the size of my finger.
And look at that. Show them the spindle.
Right there. Right there.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Ray had tried and failed numerous times over at least 3 years to make an ember with an Osage Orange kit, but he succeeded on his very first try using Theo and Ben's method. If you'll notice though, Ray didn't put his arm underneath his leg like Theo had done. That was because he was using a really short spindle, and it wouldn't have given him much of an advantage at that point. Ray also won a long-standing bet that I had made with my scouts. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago that I sort of jokingly offered $25 to any one of our scouts or firecrafters who could make an ember with an Osage Orange kit and let me get it on video. This was not a side bet or a private gift offer or anything like that. It was very public. All the scouts in my troop knew about it, and the adults knew about it. My scoutmaster was okay with it. It was an offer to kind of get my scouts to persevere and to try and accomplish something that I myself had not yet been able to accomplish. And I'm glad they stuck with it. Eventually, I had to up the ante to $50. And later, to keep any of them at all interested, I had to up the ante to $100. Most of my scouts quit trying after a while, but Ray and a couple of others continued to persevere, and I'm really glad they did. Ultimately, Ray won the prize, and I am very proud of him. So what about me? Well, I've given Theo and Ben's method a try a few times, but I still haven't been successful. I'm so used to bow drilling down on the ground that having my foot up in the air is kind of awkward for me, and I'm just going to have to keep trying. Someday when I finally get it, I'll make a video and show you. But this particular video is not about me. It's about some exceptional young men, scouts, who have done something that I was starting to think might be impossible. So, good job, guys. Anyhow, that's all for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Man's got to know his limitations.